As Californians are focused on the drama around Prop 50, California Democrat politicians hope you don't notice two big stories that are being swept under the rug this week. Illegal immigrants are poised to get free cell phone service at taxpayer expense, and there's a big loss in the state's largest pension fund for government employees, all because of the California Green New Deal. We expose both those stories hidden by the media this week, coming right up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. And yes, I'm working hard in these last days trying to turn out the vote for no on Prop 50 to defeat Gavin Newsom's corrupt redistricting scheme. And we're also collecting the million signatures we need to put California voter ID, that initiative, that game changer, on the ballot. That's where our focus has been. But, there's a lot going on in government. And it's during times like these where everyone is paying attention to national government shutdown or a special election on Prop 50 that certain stories don't get told or noticed. And Democrat politicians hope you certainly don't see these two stories. And that's why this podcast exists, to bring you the news that you don't hear from mainstream media in California. First and foremost, we've got this story about the Public Utilities Commission in the state of California is holding a hearing this week to give illegal immigrants free cell phone service at your expense. Here it is. It's called the California Lifeline Program. And it basically allows for universal telephone service. They are going to adopt an enrollment path. I love it. Path to citizenship, enrollment path for free cell phone services at taxpayer expense. A free cell phone for Californians without a social security number. So let's review the bidding here. Illegal immigrants get free education, free healthcare to the tune of $11 billion just on the healthcare, $12 billion at the last count. They're getting food stamps, they're getting universal basic income. Now, let's just go ahead and raise your cell phone bill and your telephone bill to give them another benefit. I mean, it's so insulting. How much more do we have to raise taxes and cut services for citizens in California before people get pissed off? But again, the media is not covering it, and don't hear a whole lot of Republicans raising this issue. That's happening this week. Also, a little scandal brewing in the state's largest government pension program, CalPERS, California Public Employees Retirement System. This is a system that's giving out gold-plated pensions to government employees. And we see billions of dollars of unfunded liabilities, billions of dollars of debt. Taxpayers are on the hook for all of that. What the politicians keep saying is, oh, don't worry about it. Investment returns will make it up. No, we've been having the hottest stock market we've seen in generations, and the debt continues to climb. And the retirement board is actually not investing to try to get maximum return on investment, which is what most fiduciaries are required to do. If you have a retirement portfolio and you are on the board of that portfolio, you have a fiduciary obligation to invest to maximize returns for the beneficiaries, but not CalPERS. A variety of laws have been passed in the state of California that tell the board, don't invest for maximum return because, the taxpayers are going to have to pick up the bill anyway. Why don't you do some social engineering? Why don't we use the money that should be going to cover retirement costs, use it for politics and our liberal agenda? And of course, a lot of the commissioners on CalPERS, the trustees, are left-wing zealots anyway. So it's not like you need a law to tell them to do bad things. Here's the headline. California State Retirement Fund lost 71% of a $500 million investment they put in clean energy. But they won't talk about it. Here is the fund, it is a private equity fund for clean energy, the Green New Deal, because climate change might kill us. So I've already covered on this podcast the fraud that is the Green New Deal. It increases your cost of living. It's usually dirtier for the environment than the alternatives. It's not even good for the environment. And it's part of this bogus, flawed belief that we're going to have humanity collapse in 12 years if we don't try to control the climate. Remember, when they talk about climate change, understand what they're trying to suggest to you and sell to you is that if you destroy jobs and raise your cost of living by a factor of 3 or 4, take all the conveniences out of your life, like air conditioning, that somehow you're going to be able to control the climate. I'm going to set aside that debate just to focus in on these financial losses. They lost 71% of their investment in this clean energy boondoggle. And now we're left on the hook to backfill. The overall deficit is at least 180 billion. But that's using the CalPERS official math. We believe that the deficit with CalPERS and CalSTRS and local pension funds in the state of California, and you add in unfunded retiree health care benefits, which Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in Sacramento have intentionally underfunded this year. We're talking about $500 billion easily. $500 billion of debt in the state of California. We're not the federal government. We don't print money. This is a big sucker punch to all California taxpayers, but media doesn't cover it. Meanwhile, if you go over to my good friends at the California Policy Center, they have a website. It's called transparentcalifornia.org. Check it out, transparentcalifornia.org. They list the pension payouts each year for government employees. You look at the top pension payouts, we're talking millions of dollars for each individual. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for nearly 200,000 people a year, not working, 6 figures, gold-plated pensions. And the system is $500 billion in debt. So they had something called the Clean Energy and Technology Fund, CETF. They invested it all the way back in 2007. And the value of the fund has plummeted over the 18 years. Who loses that much money over 18 years? Now, mind you, this is not just a baseline loss. You don't go from $465 million down to $138 million, losing 71%. Remember, you've got to take into account the 8% per annum return on investment that the fund needs based on its actuarial model. So 18 years times 8%. And then on top of that, the market actually went up by more than 8% during most of that time. So you're talking about not a loss of 71%, but what you should have gotten from that investment versus the cash balance you have, you're talking about 400, 500% losses. Pretty damn big story, don't you think? The $465 million, just with rough math, in an index fund, just the Dow index, should be paying right now about $2 billion, maybe 2.3. We've lost the money. You've lost the money. They lost it on your behalf. And now you're sucking up the losses. Oh, and by the way, in the meantime, private equity firms were paid $22 million in fees and costs to handle the transaction. More $1,000 per bottle of wine and steak dinners for them. It's all because they're pursuing a religion on Green New Deal, not prudent financial management. These two stories should have people concerned. They should have people upset. But no, what are we serving up this week? Orange Man bad! At Reform California, we are shining a light on these stories, making sure you don't miss them. That's why I do the podcast every day. And of course, we're trying to make change happen. Ground zero for our campaigns, reformcalifornia.org. reformcalifornia.org. Check out our stories up there, share our stories, and remember, we are leading the fight on a number of campaigns, not only to break the Democrat supermajority in Sacramento by electing better state assembly members and state senators, but we are going to get the 1 million signatures on the California Voter ID Initiative. If you want to sign that initiative, go to the website, voteridpetition.org, voteridpetition.org. Download, print, sign, and mail back that petition. If we get 1 million signatures, voter ID goes on the ballot. It will pass. It's got 70% approval in the latest polling, and we will change our state. But we need you off the couch and into the fight. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.